For years, the Bloodline has stood at the apex of WWE's power structure, a dominant faction defined by loyalty, legacy, and unrelenting aggression. Spearheaded by Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, universal champion, and a symbol of Samoan wrestling royalty, the group has crushed resistance with tactical brilliance and brute strength. But at WWE Backlash, everything changed. The Bloodline didn't just reinforce their position, they redefined what dominance looks like. With the shocking introduction of Cobb, a Samoan powerhouse with Olympian credentials, Reigns and his enforcers turned a title defense into a message of absolute authority. The battlefield? The United States Championship match featuring Fatu, another potent force in Samoan lineage. Fatu's uphill battle? The odds were against him. Fatu, nephew to the Usos and cousin to Reigns, had already established himself as a force in the wrestling world, known for his blend of high-flying agility and bruising physicality. The current United States champion, Fatu, had carved a path through mid-card challengers with ruthless efficiency. But at Backlash, things looked different. He was pitted against a three-man alliance determined to strip him of his title. In what was essentially a gauntlet match, Fatu found himself outnumbered, isolated, and on the verge of losing everything he had fought so hard to gain. The arena buzzed with anticipation. The crowd, already electric, grew restless as Fatu took hit after hit, struggling to maintain his footing. The United States Championship, the physical representation of his success, hung precariously in the balance. For the first time in months, the reign of Fatu seemed truly threatened. The turning point. Enter Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. As Fatu began to falter, his adversaries smelled blood in the water. Each slam, each submission attempt, each taunt from his opponents seemed to chip away at his strength. But then, everything shifted. The lights dimmed. A low rumble shook the speakers. Then, that unmistakable note hit. Roman Reigns' entrance music. The crowd erupted in a thunderous roar. Down the ramp walked Reigns, composed as ever, his presence alone shifting the atmosphere into something electric and volatile. Beside him was Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline's silent executioner, known for his cold efficiency and unshakable loyalty. But there was something different this time. They weren't alone. Trailing behind them was a towering figure, unfamiliar to some but immediately threatening to all. Cobb. The arrival of a Samoan wrecking machine. Cobb wasn't just another muscle-bound addition. A former Olympian, Cobb represented a terrifying blend of real-world grappling credentials and professional wrestling brutality. His wrestling career spans the globe, from New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he became known for his unforgiving suplexes, to Lucha Underground and Ring of Honor, where he dominated with uncanny agility for a man his size. Cobb, of Samoan descent, fit the Bloodline's image like a battle-hardened glove. Clad in dark tactical gear, eyes filled with intent, Cobb didn't need to speak. His mere presence was an announcement. The Bloodline was evolving. A statement, not a rescue. What unfolded next wasn't a rescue mission. It was a calculated show of strength. Roman Reigns didn't run to the ring. He stalked. He surveyed. He waited for the perfect moment. At ringside, he stood motionless, eyes locked with the enemies who were seconds away from dethroning Fatu. The tension was almost cinematic. And then, with one subtle nod, chaos erupted. Cobb vaulted into the ring with terrifying speed. His first impact, a spine-shattering belly-to-belly suplex that sent one of Fatu's challengers flying across the canvas. Another opponent attempted a counterattack, but was met mid-motion with a thunderous overhead throw. Cobb wasn't just throwing bodies, he was sending messages. Solo followed close behind, hitting a perfectly timed Samoan spike that collapsed the third challenger like a house of cards. The crowd, stunned into silence just moments ago, now exploded in disbelief. The tide had turned in an instant. The final blow and an unforgettable finish. With the battlefield cleared, Jakob Fatu found his second wind. Reinvigorated by the presence of his family and freed from his oppressors, Fatu ascended the turnbuckle. In a breathtaking display of athleticism for a man his size, he launched into a soaring moonsault, a maneuver equal parts grace and devastation. The referee's hand hit the mat for the final count, and the arena erupted once more, not just for the victory, but for what it symbolized. The bloodline hadn't merely survived, they had annihilated. Who is Jeff Cobb? The new enforcer explained. Jeff Cobb's addition to the bloodline is more than just a fresh face. It's a strategic masterstroke by Roman Reigns. Known across the wrestling world as the Hawaiian Juggernaut, Cobb's resume speaks for itself. A former amateur wrestling champion and 2004 Olympian for Guam, Cobb transitioned into pro wrestling with thunderous impact. His accolades include the Never Openweight Championship in NJPW and a dominant showing in tournaments like the G1 Climax, where he stood toe-to-toe with the best in the world. His suplex-heavy offense and unmatched explosiveness have drawn comparisons to legends like Taz and Kurt Angle. But what makes him uniquely suited for the bloodline is his cultural heritage and demeanor. Cobb is stoic, brutal, and loyal. Everything Roman Reigns values in an enforcer. Insiders have suggested that Reigns handpicked Cobb not only for his raw ability, but also for his potential. In a world where Reigns has slowly started pulling back from full-time competition, there's a clear need for new blood, someone who can carry the faction forward. A glimpse into the future. Is Cobb the next tribal heir? That's the question now on everyone's lips. Is Jeff Cobb merely the bloodline's muscle, or is he being groomed for something more? Roman Reigns has long teased the notion of succession. With every passing month, fans and analysts alike have speculated who might inherit the throne of the tribal chief. For a time, many believed Solo Sikoa would be the heir apparent, but Cobb's debut changes the landscape completely. Unlike Solo, who operates with quiet obedience, Cobb radiates presence. His arrival wasn't that of a subordinate. It was that of a warlord joining forces. Could Cobb be the one Reigns has chosen to continue the legacy? The bloodline isn't just a faction anymore, it's an empire, and every empire needs a next in line. The bloodline's message to the locker room. No one is safe. What unfolded at Backlash was more than just a match. It was a declaration of war to the rest of the WWE roster. The bloodline is no longer content with defending titles. They're expanding, evolving, consuming. Their influence now stretches across multiple championships, show brands, and continents. With Jeff Cobb in the fold, they have introduced a new level of unpredictability and physical dominance. No one is safe. Whether you're a rising star with a dream, a veteran with a vendetta, or a champion with a target on your back, the bloodline is watching, and they're stronger than ever. What's next? Who dares to challenge this juggernaut? As the dust settles from Backlash, one question remains. Who will challenge the bloodline next, and live to tell the tale? Will it be a returning legend determined to reclaim lost glory? A coalition of top-tier talent sick of the bloodline's rule? Or will internal cracks eventually appear in this seemingly unstoppable machine? One thing is certain. Whoever steps up will be walking into a war zone. Because the bloodline isn't just defending gold anymore. They're defending a legacy. Final thoughts. the Bloodline's scariest chapter. Yet, what fans witnessed at Backlash wasn't just another title defense. It was the unveiling of a new era. The Bloodline, already historic in their dominance, have rewritten the rules by recruiting Jeff Cobb. With his arrival, the group has grown more brutal, more strategic, and more terrifyingly efficient. Roman Reigns has once again proven why he is not just a champion, but an architect of power. And if this night was any indication, the Bloodline is entering its most dangerous chapter yet.